All right, let's dive into this Kilgoris localization tour journal, huh? It's like a travel diary, packed with stories about the Masai Mara and all these incredible community projects
Oh,
and
wow.
cultural exchanges.
Yeah, I love those kinds of personal accounts.
Right, you get that firsthand perspective. Even starts with waking up before sunrise for a safari.
Sounds like they were really embracing the experience.
Talk about an exciting way to start a trip, right?
Definitely. That's stepping out of your comfort zone and into a new world. It makes me think about how those firsthand experiences can be so powerful when we try to grasp different cultures and approaches to sustainability.
That's so true. And speaking of the Masai Mara, did you know it has one of the highest concentrations of wildlife in all of Africa?
It's an incredible ecosystem. Yeah, it's a truly remarkable place. But, it's not just about the animals, right?
Oh, definitely not.
The Masai Mara plays a crucial role in the lives of the Maasai people. It also faces all sorts of challenges, from poaching to the pressures of development.
That's a good point.
Understanding those complexities, I think, is vital for any conservation effort.
Absolutely. The journal talks about seeing zebras, giraffes, elephants, all while on a game drive. It sounds incredible.
Wow.
The guide seems so knowledgeable, pointing out all sorts of fascinating things about the animal and their environment.
That local expertise is invaluable, isn't it?
It really is. But, one participant mentioned how challenging it might be for someone with a disability to experience the Mara.
Ooh, that's an important consideration.
It got me thinking, how can we make these natural wonders more accessible and inclusive for everyone?
That's a crucial point. Accessibility is something we should always be striving for, especially when it comes to appreciating nature.
You're so right. Now we've got to talk about the big five, that ultimate safari checklist.
Oh, yeah.
The journal mentions spotting lions with this magnificent mane,
Wow.
cheetahs blending seamlessly with their surroundings, and a heartwarming herd of elephants with those adorable calves.
Oh, I can just imagine.
It makes you realize just how diverse and amazing this place is.
It sounds like they really witnessed the raw power and beauty of the Masai Mara firsthand.
Definitely. And, those moments, they can really shift your perspective on conservation.
It's hard not to be humbled by that kind of experience. Seeing these animals in their natural habitat make you appreciate the importance of protecting them.
Absolutely. But the Kilgoris localization tour wasn't just about the wildlife. It was about experiencing community development efforts firsthand, seeing how they impact people's lives. On the last day, the participants shared a lot of reflections, and three things really stood out to me.
I'm curious.
The importance of listening to local voices, creating opportunities for everyone, and the impact of cultural exchange.
Those are powerful takeaways, and they apply far beyond just this one tour. It makes me wonder how we can apply those principles in our own lives and work.
That's a great question. It's something we should all be thinking about. Throughout the trip, they kept repeating this powerful slogan, "Mimi ni wewe ni sisi ni," which means I am, you are, we are.
It's a beautiful reminder of our shared humanity, isn't it?
It really is. It's like a call to collective responsibility, a recognition that we're all connected.
And it connects so well with the inspiring work of the Kilgoris Project, which we'll learn about later in the journal. They're dedicated to education, empowerment, and community development. It's incredible.
This tour wasn't just sightseeing. It sparked personal growth, cultural understanding, and a deeper appreciation for our interconnectedness. It's like they discover something much bigger than themselves.
It sounds like a truly transformative experience.
It does, doesn't it? All right, so we've covered the first part of this incredible journey through the Masai Mara.
And I can't wait to see what else they encountered.
Me too. Stay tuned, because in the next part, we'll explore what happened after those amazing safari adventures and dig deeper into their experiences back at the hotel.
Sounds fascinating. I'm ready.
So after all that excitement in the Masai Mara, they head back to the hotel, and you can just feel this buzz in the air, right?
Yeah.
Everyone's sharing their stories and trying to process the experience.
It's amazing how a shared experience like that, especially something as powerful as the Masai Mara, can bring people together.
It really does create a bond, doesn't it?
It makes you wonder how those connections might translate into action later on. Like some sort of collaborative effort.
I know, right? One of the participants even compared the animals they saw to symbols of resilience, facing all those challenges, but still pushing forward. It's kind of beautiful, huh?
It is. It's a good metaphor for life, isn't it? Reminds me that we can overcome obstacles and keep going even when things get tough.
Exactly. And it ties into that whole theme of sustainability that this tour is about, right?
Definitely. Not just in terms of the environment, but also the community. Finding ways to adapt and create a better future for everyone.
That's such a great point. Now, day 5 rolls around, and it's time to say goodbye.
Yeah, goodbyes are always tough.
Especially after an experience like
I
this.
bet. But what I find interesting is that even though the tour's ending, they're already thinking about how to carry these experiences forward.
It's like they're already planning the next steps.
Exactly. It wasn't just a fleeting moment for them. It's a catalyst for some kind of change.
It is, isn't it? And it goes back to those key takeaways we talked about earlier, listening to local voices, creating opportunities for all, and embracing cultural exchange.
Right. And it's not just talk either. The journal mentions some really inspiring individuals like Wycliffe Buguni, who's actively working to empower communities from within.
And then there's Bright Star, who's such a strong advocate for inclusivity.
They're not just talking the talk, they're walking the walk. It gives you hope that real change is possible.
It really does. And then we have Ashley Brigham, who talks about bridging cultures.
Oh, yeah, it had some great insights.
It's a good reminder that cultural exchange isn't just about learning about different ways of life, but also about finding common ground.
Absolutely. Those connections are so important for breaking down barriers and fostering understanding.
And it all comes back to that powerful slogan, me, ni, we, ni, si, ni. It's a reminder that no matter our differences, we're all part of something bigger than ourselves.
It's that shared humanity, that interconnectedness that's at the heart of this whole tour.
And it makes me even more curious to learn about the Kilgoris Project.
Me too. From what we've heard so far, they're doing amazing work in education, healthcare, and economic development.
Before we get to that, though, I was thinking about the idea of aid.
In what sense?
Do you think the tour participants are seeing it differently after this experience?
That's an interesting question. I think they're moving away from that traditional idea of charity and towards something more collaborative and empowering.
Right, like a partnership.
Exactly. It's about listening to the community's needs and working together to create lasting change.
It's not just about giving handouts, it's about helping people become self-sufficient.
That's a much more sustainable approach, isn't it?
It is. It's about giving people the tools they need to take control of their life.
Exactly, fostering that sense of ownership and self-reliance.
This tour really challenged their assumptions about development, didn't it?
It seems like it wasn't just a trip, it was a journey of discovery.
So, are you ready to learn more about the Kilgoris Project?
Absolutely. Lead the way.
All right, so the Kilgoris Project, they're doing some pretty impressive work, huh?
Yeah, from what I'm reading here, they're really making a difference. They seem to have a strong focus on education, healthcare, and economic empowerment.
It's like they're tackling these issues from all angles, right?
It is, it is. They seem to understand that real change has to be holistic. You can't just address one aspect of a community's well-being in isolation.
Exactly. It's all interconnected. And they're not just imposing their ideas either.
Right, they're working hand in hand with the Kilgoris community, listening to their needs.
It's about empowering people, not just providing aid.
Absolutely. They're helping the community build its own capacity for growth.
The journal talks about how passionate the teachers are in their education programs. It makes you think about the impact they're having on these kids, shaping their futures.
It's inspiring, isn't it? Education is so powerful. It can break cycles of poverty and create opportunities for generations to come.
It really can. And it's not just about academics, right? They're also providing access to healthcare.
Yeah, healthcare is fundamental. It's the foundation for a healthy community.
So we've got education, healthcare. What about economic empowerment? How's the Kilgoris Project supporting that?
Well, the journal doesn't go into too much detail, but it emphasizes the importance of creating opportunities for people to support themselves and their families.
Makes sense.
So I imagine that could involve things like vocational training, microfinance programs, maybe support for local entrepreneurs.
Right. Giving people the tools they need to build a better life for themselves.
It all comes back to that idea of empowerment, doesn't it? Giving people control over their own destinies.
It's a powerful thing. And as we wrap up our deep dive into the Kilgoris localization tour, what stands out to you the most?
For me, it's the power of connection, the way the participants connected with each other, with Masai Mara, with the Kilgore community.
Yeah.
It shows how these personal experiences can intersect with global issues and inspire us to make a difference.
I love that. And the journal ends with a beautiful call to action. Let us embrace the spirit of collaboration, leverage our diverse skills and experiences, and work together to create a more equitable and sustainable future for all.
It's a reminder that we all have a role to play.
It really is. What skills and experiences can you bring to the table? What kind of impact do you want to make in the world?
Those are great questions to think about.
The Kilgoris localization tour might be over, but the journey toward a better world continues.
And we can all be a part of it.
Thanks for joining us for this incredible deep dive into the Kilgoris localization tour. It's been a real pleasure exploring this journey with you.
Thanks for having me.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep making a difference in the world. 62.